What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Light back at it with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing. Let's talk about Venom 2. Let There Be Carnage. Uh, yeah. So Venom 2 is definitely an interesting movie. I, for some reason, haven't even talked about it in a while, even though the date's fast approaching. Uh, and yeah, this movie does interest me a lot. I kind of want to see it a lot and stuff like that. And it's supposed to come out like October 1st, I believe. Currently, that's what the date is, even though it's been like pushed back numerous times and stuff like that. So I'm not exactly sure if it'll keep this date, if it won't. But definitely I'll have what I want to see again when I see it's like confirmed for coming out. So yeah, anyways, let's get into this. So yeah, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Definitely an interesting concept that I'm very excited to see what this entails and everything. Definitely, again, I don't know why I never really talked about it. I mean, it's had two trailers. I talked about it once, I believe, but I mean, there's definitely some added stuff and everything. So I'm interested, and I'm gonna be really talking about this in this video. I'm gonna really be talking about like trailers, my thoughts, and everything. So yeah, without ado, yeah, let's get into this. So Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Definitely, again, it's interests me a lot. Seeing as though Carnage is personally one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. I think he's pretty cool. Uh, and just an interesting villain. And Venom, of course, is personally he's technically one of my. He used to be one of my favorite villains, but now he's like one of my favorite more anti-heroes. He's transitioned to more of like an anti-hero role. So he's kind of one of my favorites on that. I did like the first one personally. I know a lot of people didn't per se like it a lot in, in terms of like comic book fans and stuff like that. And definitely I could see that. That's a valid reason. It didn't really stay very faithful to the comics in the sense that like other than the fact that probably Eddie Brock is Venom basically that's like the only thing, and maybe Foundation and Carlton Drake, but that's about it. I mean, everything else was basically fabricated for the movie. Uh, all the characters and everything just fabricated, but I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing or anything, but I mean, I could see definitely why those people don't like it. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens in this. We know it's probably not gonna stay very faithful to the comics in the sense. I'm gonna sense that Carnage's origins might have changed, which we'll actually discuss in 2 seconds. But I believe it's probably gonna change, which is all right. But I mean, again, I would like to see some faithfulness to the comics and everything. So I'm interested to see what this is retold. I sense this could probably be more comic accurate in terms of story and stuff. But anyways, let's get into this. So throughout the trailer, let's see. There's two trailers here. Let's first of all discuss where we're seeing Venom and Eddie. Uh, they still live at that place that they were living in the previous movie. It seems like their relationships has just gotten a little bit better and awesome, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, I'm fully expecting like probably like a buddy cop type movie, which could be definitely very interesting. Again, I really like the interactions between Venom and Eddie. It's very funny, uh, and just interesting. So I'm hoping in the next movie it just furthers the development and everything, and just they become more friends and stuff like that. Uh, yeah. So I'm interested to see what that is. Of course, last movie we actually left off when Carnage was basically getting introduced to Cletus Cassidy, and he's like, "When I get out and I will get out, there will be carnage." Basically, that was an interesting thing. So we know for a fact Eddie Brock is gonna be like showing up to uh, San Quentin prisons, what they say in the Venom movie. But I believe in the movie they might go with Ravencroft, so that could definitely be interesting as well. If you don't know what Ravencroft is, basically it's basically like an institution for the people in the sane in the Marvel universe. Basically, that's where a lot of like Cletus Cassidy characters go, and like basically insane people. Uh, think of it more as like Arkham Asylum for the Marvel universe. So yeah, basically it's like Arkham Asylum, which is actually quite interesting to me. Again, that's basically like where Carnage he's not formed, but I mean he that's where his like lair usually is and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see maybe they fight there a few times or something. I don't know. So that's pretty interesting. We also saw that there might be more symbiotes. Like I think Scream might be in it, which is always interesting. I'm not too sure of the other symbiotes, but I mean definitely could be very interesting to see. I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least there has to be at least two other symbiotes. I know for sure there's one, at least one other than Venom and Carnage. But I'm pretty sure there could be at least two more symbiotes. Whether they take like a big role or a small role or whatever is yet to be seen. But I mean, I'm fully well expecting for most of the movie, maybe like Carnage and Venom fight each other and whatnot, and then for example, maybe like the other characters like Scream or something. Uh, I don't know what Scream might do in that. Maybe she's in partnership with Carnage. I have no clue. Uh, but that's one thing I'm not too sure about is exactly what her role is. She looks to be like a prisoner at Ravencroft in this. So at the same time, I'm just thinking maybe perhaps yeah she's working with Carnage. So maybe we'll see like a Venom versus Carnage versus Scream and they all versus sorry, Venom versus Carnage and Scream, basically. Maybe Venom gets a symbiote on his side or whatnot. We know may perhaps that like I don't think there's gonna be any real like symbiotes coming from other planets or anything. So I'm gonna cross that off the list. It's most likely gonna be like symbiotes that Eddie Venom basically makes essentially because in the comics, originally with like Scream and Carnage and everything, basically they're offsprings of Venom. So to basically create another symbiote, or a few other in this case. So it's interesting to see that happen. I'm not too sure if Life Foundation would be in this. I don't think so. Uh, yeah, it looks to be a lot more like it's just gonna be like Venom versus Carnage and everything. So I'm interested to see that kind of happen. Looks like Aaron will be coming back and also Dan, which is interesting. I'm interested to see if maybe like there's something funny going on with them or whatever. So that's pretty interesting. Uh, yeah, and now we get to the big kind of part here. Carnage. Now, again, Carnage in the comics is basically like bloodthirsty serial killer, insane lunatic. He's basically like very, very insane and just slaughters people for the fun of it. So yeah, as you can tell, he's very bad. I don't know how else to put it. He's very, very bad, and I'm very much like. I know this isn't what I want to see, but I mean, I very much hope that like that sticks to the comics and stuff like that. From what I've seen in the trailer, maybe that could happen. In terms of like Carnage design, I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys. Uh, I'm not too big of a fan of it just because uh, in like various media and everything, Carnage is always a little bit smaller than Venom in the sense that like he's much smaller. I mean, maybe the height's fine, I guess, but even in terms of like muscle mass and everything, Carnage is more like less muscle, I guess you would say it. And he's just visually much smaller than Eddie, or I mean Venom, essentially. So I'm curious to see like what goes on. From the trailer, it looks like Carnage is a bit big, and I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, maybe it could be good. I mean, it definitely could be good. Like that was another problem I kind of had with Venom One is like the symbiotes kind of look all the same, and it kind of just a little bit of lack of character design, I guess. Uh, I didn't really, yeah, again, like I didn't really like the way Riot looked like Venom. It kind of looked a little stupid. But I mean, Riot was a bit bigger, so I guess it was all right and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't like the way like they look like that. It just makes it just kind of swells it a little bit. I mean, but it should be all right though. He still has his like stuff that detach from his back and everything, so that's all right. Uh, Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with like Woody Harrelson, like how he does this role. I'm interested to see uh, the way he treats it. From what I've seen, it looks like he's kind of his this role looks similar to the one he did in War for the Planet of the Apes. It just seems like it. I'm expecting like kind of harshness in terms of acting and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking might happen. Uh, but other than that, I mean, Carnage, he seems pretty interesting. Again, I just really, really hope they don't screw him up. That's really. I'm curious if Scream is even in it. I am curious what she looks like. Same with like if there's any other symbiotes. I'm hoping that they don't make them all look the same. That's just one thing I really, really want is to make sure they don't all look the same. Um, yeah, but anyways, and another thing too is actually it recently got revealed it's a PG-13 movie. Now I know a lot of people are thinking, yeah, it's pretty bad for Carnage, seeing as though he's like a murdering psychopath. And I gotta say to you, those people, honestly, to me, PG-13 doesn't ruin it. I mean, Venom 1 was pretty violent even though it's PG-13 and it still had the same violence and stuff like that, like he was literally biting people's heads off and stuff like that in the movie. It's just less graphic and everything. So, yeah. I mean, with Carnage and everything, they could still use he could still kill people. He could still kill loads of people with those swords and just like easily slice them up and everything. So that's one thing I really don't mind is that it's rated PG-13. I guess because a wider demographic, because kids would be able to see it and everything. So yeah. But again, like I'm pretty excited to hopefully see this soon. It's gonna be coming out October 1st, I believe. For now, I don't know if it might get delayed or pushed up or whatnot. So without ado, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.